Remco, and I'm a personal stylist and a personal shopper as well. Welcome to my broadcast on Dear Young Entrepreneur that I decided to host because I am a young entrepreneur and I'm very well acquainted with and aware of the struggles that come with being a young entrepreneur. I figured, why don't I continue my journey in entrepreneurship with a few other people who may be having the same troubles that I'm going through? Why not just have an accountability group? That's what I call this. It's not a support group, it's an accountability group for fellow young entrepreneurs so that we can help each other, basically just hold each other's hands through the journey to entrepreneurship. Okay, so today I wanted to talk on team building because obviously you can't do it alone. I don't know how many of you out there, Superman or Superwoman, please let me know because I might need your powers. But after working on my idea and my business for so long, I have come to realize that I cannot do it all by myself. And I'm pretty sure you hear this all the time, like, oh, you need people, but I will not discredit the beginning phases where you do things on your own. I'm not going to discredit that because I read this somewhere, but you have to have like a groundwork in place. You have to lay the foundation of what you want your business to be and have a pretty solid understanding of what that foundation, what that framework is before you bring in someone to join your team. So I'm not discrediting the startup days where you're, figuring out everything by yourself and being the hands, the brain, everything. I'm not discrediting that. I'm still enjoying that process of running my thing by myself. I absolutely enjoy it. But you will soon realize either sooner or later. Mine was later. But you will soon come to realize that you need more hands, someone else to physically work on your idea with you, or an extra brain, which is someone that just helps you brainstorm. You basically run your ideas through this person. You let this person either proofread your work if it's written work, or you have them test drive your product if you're actually putting out products. So it's absolutely useful to get a grasp of your business before you bring people on to form a team. Now I'm just going to go right into the team formation aspect of this. For my business right now, I need a graphic designer, an assistant, and I need a web developer. Okay. For a business to function, you're going to need more than an app developer and an assistant and whatever. Like you're going to need, thank you. You're going to need a lot more than I've mentioned. But the most important thing at the beginning of forming your team is actually figuring out exactly what you need. Like, what do you need right now? Not what you need in 5 years, not what you need in 10 years, not even what you need in 6 months. You need to figure out what you need right now. When I posted an ad for a graphic designer and a web developer and an assistant, I got responses from 2 of these categories. And I realized, okay, well, I can do without the third one for now. I'm fine. I can handle that. So you need to also make that decision and figure out what is it that I absolutely need help with right now in my business. And like I said earlier, you have to lay that foundation. You have to lay the framework. It might not be perfect. Heck, it's not going to be perfect, but have something workable that whoever is going to join your team will see, okay, this is what has been in place. Now I'm going to mention another thing that I found out about team building. Right now, if I'm to bring anyone on board, I'm happy with how far my business has gone because I can single-handedly say, okay, I'm asking you to make me a flyer. Well, I've done that before and I know how to do it. I'm asking you to help me organize this and that. Well, I've done that before and I know how to do it. I'm asking you to help me fix up my website. I've done that before and I know how to do it. You're not going to be perfect at these things. You're not going to be super at these things. But personally, I find so much joy in knowing that I can handle the things that I need help with right now. So that if someone messes up, it's like, hey, I can do that. I'm not getting you because I can't do that. I'm getting you because I need someone to take, some of the stress off me. So as much as possible, try to get a little understanding of the aspects of your business that you're going to need help with. I hope that makes sense. So if you need Let's see. Okay, someone here said he wants to go into cars. You're going to need a marketing personnel or like a marketing team. Make sure that you know one or two things about marketing. You're obviously not going to be as perfect as someone that studied it in school, but make sure you know one or two things so that when you're talking to your team members, when your team has been built and you guys are running, no one can tell you, oh, blah, blah, blah. You'll be like, hey, listen, I can do this and I have a little understanding. Now, this is all I'm asking you to do to get us further. And that brings me to my next point, which is bringing everyone on board to basically understand that they're helping you further your dream. I'm going to answer someone's question. What business do I have? I'm a personal shopper and I'm a stylist. That has been an interesting ride. It actually just started with blogging. I realized that I used to write a lot and obviously interested in style. I figured, why not bring everything on one platform? I also make accessories. That's my second business. I make handmade accessories with African prints. I actually started that in sophomore year of college, my friend. I hope that answers your question on what my business is about. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly jump over to what I was going to talk about. So you built your team and you have the right people that you need. Now, I think the hardest part about team building is getting your team members to see, well, they can't see your vision. I'm not sure if they can see your vision, but you have to figure out how to make them walk towards your vision. Everybody has whatever they are chasing, and then you have this brilliant idea. But you need people to help you further it, right? So you bring in these people that have their own way of doing their things. I'm going to use a graphic designer, for example. For graphic design, I like clean, simple, like really clean, really simple. I don't want a busy flyer. Now, imagine me bringing in a graphic designer who is amazing. Only that his style is different, like his aesthetic is different, his rendition is different, everything is different. He prefers like more, vivid colors and more words on there. So this person is good. He's good at what he's doing. But now that he's in my company or as a part of my venture, I now have to guide him to execute things the way I want it to be executed, right? But the problem is, how do you get this person to see your vision? Because first of all, they have to see your vision or just see the big picture. Why is it that I want a clean, minimalistic design as opposed to something that's noisy? Well, that's because I consider my brand and everything about it, clean, classy, minimal. Now, you somehow have to bring this graphic designer on board and make him see reason with your vision for your designs. And that is hard. I've actually been thinking about it, and I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what you guys think the best way to get people on board and, guide them towards that final goal, but still letting their skills shine, because that person has his own unique set of skills. And if you're working for me, I do not in any way want to undermine your ability. I do not want to undermine, your workflow, your final products, because before I brought you on board, I saw what you were capable of, right? I saw what you could do. I saw your work and I loved it. So bringing you on board and, trying to make you see my vision does not mean that I'm going to kill everything that you've learned about your trade just so that you can deliver things the way I want it. I think it's something I'm going to keep contemplating on, but I guess my advice to young entrepreneurs would be, when you're team building, number one, make sure you have a workable plan of action on ground already. And I'm not necessarily saying like January do this, February do this. You could have that, but make sure you have something solid that any new person that's coming on can see what you've done already or what you've been doing, and hopefully see where you want to take your business to. Like right now, if someone reaches out to me like, oh hey, I want to be a graphic designer or whatever, I'll send them a link to my website. After obviously chatting with them, I'll send them a link to my website, check it out and see what I do, see how I do it, and then we can discuss further. So that is my own groundwork. I've laid that. I blog consistently, so I have done that part, and it is there to speak for me at any time. Dear young entrepreneur, when you are ready to build a team, or before, hello, thanks for joining. Before you decide to build a team, make sure that you have the framework of your business. Make sure you have the skeleton all sorted out. Again, it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. but just make sure you have a really good understanding of what your business is. Hello everyone that's joining. I feel like you've missed quite a bit, but I'm actually just rounding up and doing the summary. So I hope you're still able to gain from this. Let me know if you're an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur, and what your business is about, so that I could hopefully answer any questions you have. So again, I'm talking about young entrepreneurship and building a team. The first point, again, was understanding what your business is. Basically just laying that framework and having a really good idea of your business, the operation, so that when you bring someone on board, they know exactly what their role is going to be. They know the position that they're going to fill. And most importantly, they see that you have done these things before, or that you have been working, or you've done sufficient research. Make sure that the people that you bring on board align with the motives of your business. You're not going to just get anyone off the streets and put them in your business just because. You're going to get someone who is passionate. As passionate. Sometimes I even look for someone who is more passionate, because if you're more passionate than I am, that's even better, because I know when I sleep, you're going to wake me up. You're going to say, hey, this needs to be done. And that's what I need. I feel like that's what you need. You need people that are driven, or even more driven than you are, so that when the pressure or whatever, like just when you feel like, oh, I just want to sleep, that person will be the one to wake you up, as opposed to building a team and having to start chasing everyone. It gets really annoying and stressful. So again, when you're building a team, make sure that the passion and the drive of those people match up with yours, or even exceed it. Like if it exceeds it, the better. And another thing is, when you bring someone on board, that's the third point now. When you bring someone on board your team, you have to try as much as possible not to undermine that person's workflow or their understanding or interpretation of their work. You have to guide them to the point where they see exactly what you're doing, or they see where you're trying to go with your business. Obviously, you're going to help streamline their style to match the style of your business. Or if it doesn't, make sure they have a good enough understanding of your business that they could transform. Not transform, I'm not saying they should change for you, but that they could work seamlessly and still produce amazing products, because that's really what you care about. You care about the end products, right? You care about what that person puts out. So as long as the person is still productive, as long as the person still produces amazing outcome, that is all you're after. Don't undermine anyone's ability. I should add that you need to make sure that you're enhancing the creativity of whatever individual you hire. I know the greatest problem among working class people, like regular 9 to 5, is that there is no flexibility and there is no mobility in what they do every day. They feel like robots. It's the same thing. You go in, your boss tells you blah blah blah, you do it, and that's it. Like, there is no room for creativity. And this ties in with my last point. So make sure that as a young entrepreneur, you're not being such a boss, like a horrible boss, that people that are working with you don't have the space to grow and be creative. That's an absolute no. It is an absolute no, because undermining their creativity is going to undermine your productivity. So keep that in mind. I don't know if you guys have anything to add. If you have a business, let me know what it is and at what stage you are. Right now, I'm still going to consider myself a beginner, like whether or not I've done things, but I still consider myself a beginner, and that's why I'm really excited for this Dear Young Entrepreneur series. It airs every other Thursday at 9 p.m. and the aim is just to have an accountability group where I'm walking alongside with fellow young entrepreneurs, and we're guiding each other, we're helping each other, we're keeping each other accountable for everything we're doing in our businesses. If we have any problems, we're running to each other for help and solutions and just sharing ideas. I think this kind of environment needs to exist if we're going to continue having amazing ideas and services and products put out there by young people. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined, and please email me at consult@memcoh.com. Again, that's consult@memcoh.com. Let's get this Dear Young Entrepreneurship thing started.